Hey there. Okay, so this video is for you to help you figure out which tools it is that you really need to know. So any imaging program that you're going to be using is going to have 1,000,001 tools. And it's great to know all the ins and outs, whistles and bells, but you only really need to know a few key tools no matter which imaging program you're using. These are the tools that are not going to change when they come out with a new version or new software comes out. So it's basically the tools that you'll find in any imaging program. So if you know how those work, then you will be good to go in 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years from now, depending on which tools you're going to be, software you're going to be using. The tools will not change. Okay, so this is actually a photo that I took a couple days ago in Bagan. I thought it was funny, the monk taking a selfie. So I've just opened this up as an example. So some of the key tools that you need, obviously number one is your move tool. Your move tool helps you move whatever layer on around the screen. So if you wanted to crop something or just move it around, you definitely need to know how to move things around. You can also use your arrow keys for more accuracy. Underneath the Move tool are a selection of selection tools. So for whatever reason, if I wanted to, I don't want to do anything blasphemous, so let's say I want to select this temple. I was going to take the monk's head off, but I won't do that. I use my selection tool, and then using my Move tool, I can actually cut things out and move it around. So knowing where your selection tools are, I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to deselect, helps you be able to select individual things. You also have a rectangular selection tool, which can be very useful, especially with the next tool that I'm going to show you. So every imaging program also has a paint bucket tool. It's basically fills in areas. So in this case, I've made a rectangular selection. If I wanted to fill it up, it will select that area, and I could do weird effects like that. So again, I'm going to undo all of that, but just to show you, so you have your paint bucket tool, your fill tool, very important tool. Obviously, you also need to be able to have control of your colors. So in every imaging program, you'll be able to click on your foreground and background colors. You can choose a color that's appropriate to you. You can decide if it's going to be only web colors or not. And there you go. And you can also use that color as well. So aside from those tools, I always use my paintbrush tool. So here's my paintbrush tool, and I actually have that blue color selected. Paintbrush tools have many options that allow you to adjust the size and the hardness of the brush. And usually your imaging program will have many brushes you can choose from or you can load. But this is my brush tool, so I'll just do something like that. I'm actually doing an oval shape, which gives me a nice calligraphy effect. Okay, so that's my paintbrush tool. It allows me to draw right on my image. Very, very useful. And if you don't like what you did, you can use another very key tool that you will never go out of style, something you used in the first grade, probably before you had any kind of computer or technology, is your eraser tool. And just like the paintbrush tool, you can adjust the size of it and how hard or soft it is, and you can go and erase. Now, this looks horrible because I'm doing everything on one layer. But all of the image programs also give you the option to do things on different layers. I'm just going to leave that for right now. So yeah, that's basically it. So you have your eraser tool, and also a very useful tool. This is the magnifying glass tool. It allows you to zoom in on little details, so you can get in there and make changes. And then, if you hold down the option key, you can zoom back out again. So very important to be able to zoom in and zoom out. This is the blur tool, and again it works like the paintbrush tool. So for whatever reason, if I wanted to blur the mountains on the horizon, I can just drag my blur tool, and you probably can't see how it's blurring the sky and the horizon together. But it basically helps you soften your edges, which is very useful. Hiding under the blur tool is a sharpen tool if you want to undo that. And there's also a smudge tool, which if you're a traditional artist, I know you use your finger all the time to basically blend things together. So if you were drawing and we wanted to blend the cell phone into the sky, we could use our smudge tool. And then finally, I have a couple of tools that are actually related to photography called the dodge and the burn tool. And what those do, again, these are totally optional, but I use them all the time, is they allow you to go in and click on various areas. And so the dodge tool basically allows you to lighten areas up. So I'm just basically drawing on the monk and I'm adding some light to his face. Actually, this is kind of fun. You kind of can turn him into a celestial being, an otherworldly figure, just by doing that. And I also love to use the burn tool. And again, it works the same way as the brush tool. And this darkens areas. So if I wanted to create more shadows, or something more dramatic, or maybe we could even make it look like he has more hair on his head by just darkening him up a little bit. That's the dodge tool. Oh, sorry, the burn tool. So anyway, that is my quick and dirty rundown of the most essential tools you need. Obviously, it's great to be able to use all these. I mean, there's so many tools hidden under here, tools inside of tools, inside of tools, and they're all great to know, but the ones I just shared with you are the most important ones. And those are the ones I focus on teaching because I want my students to be flexible and versatile, not scared when new software comes at them or new versions come out. Yeah, of course you can learn the latest gadget and tool in those programs, but if you have a solid foundation behind you and you know what looks good, the world is your oyster. So I hope this helps. Take care.